Hey, this is Jeremiah of Team MASHUP. And this last weekend, I made my way out to Ohio to compete at Horde, hosted by the Ohio Robotics Club. Big thanks to Chris and all the Horde staff for putting this on and making such a great event. I was running two of my robots, Monculus, which you can see here, my Fairyweight, and Nosferatu, which you'll see a little bit later on, my Antweight. So right here, the first fight, I am fighting against a Fairyweight from Team Obvious called Combustion. Another big, well, big for a Fairyweight. Anyway, vertical spinner. He got flipped over and his motor stopped working, or possibly ESC reset. So the second fight, so they were running round robin, which means there is no double elimination. You fight all the other robots in the competition, but there was only like 5 robots total in the fairy bracket, so you'll fight each one time. This is a small robot that I had actually given to the driver at a past Michigan MASHUP event called Gibble. It's just a wedge bot. I had actually just given him some wheels and motors to get it working again after it got pretty broken up by, I think it was Demise. But, so I'm trying not to break it up again too quickly. Only running the weapon motor sometimes. There was quite a huge crowd at this particular event because folks could just walk in from the convention that was going on there at any time. It was Colossalcon, a giant anime convention. I didn't really get to see much of the rest of the convention at all because I was busy with the event, but yeah, I pushed him right onto the pit door just so win by pit out. So this one's a little interesting. My motor's working at the start here. R.A.M is a fairly decent Fairyweight. It's been in a lot of different compositions. I'm having a little bit of trouble with the weapon because I ran a very small ESC.
I might need a little help spinning it up. Hit me a few times.
Yeah. So it's only a 10 amp ESC. It wasn't big enough for the weapon motor I had. So it would cog a lot and slowly get up to speed. At one point here, I think it's pretty soon, right there. My weapon is striking downwards, his is striking upwards. They both come in contact with each other and they both break. Now mine's still working just a little bit, but it's heavily scraping on the side. His is totally down at this point, so he's got no way to get back over. Unfortunately, it's actually better for him only because when we come into contact with each other, his tires are more grippy, and it kind of pushes the front of my robot up. So I'm trying to get control, trying to get the weapon running again as well, but it just has no power. It wasn't working very well before, let alone now.
Weapon's not working. Yeah.
He is...
Stop pinning in 3.
He's getting the advantage.
Hey, that wasn't much of a let go.
Yeah. Anyway, he's getting the advantage when it comes to control and probably aggression as well. He's a little bit faster than I am. So I'm kind of playing over here by the pit now, hoping that I can get him, trick him into falling into it. He's playing pretty smart though. And it's not a good chance that I'm going to be able to push him into it because every time we come in contact with each other, he's winning that game. So at this point I'm definitely getting nervous about how this is going to go if it ends up at a judge's decision because we both lost our weapons and he's winning when it comes to control and probably aggression as well. And at this particular event, basically what it is all 3 of the categories are basically weighted the same. So if you win 2 of the categories, you win.
You have 30 seconds.
I would say damage would be negligible.
Come on, you know you want to come over near the pad. Come on.
And if he's winning both control and aggression, I'm going to lose it.
A weapon works every once in a while, but I don't have any power.
Keep staying around the pit. He knows that that's not something that he should be near because he's winning it. As long as he doesn't do that right there. So that one was pretty lucky, to be honest. So right here, there was a fight against Demise, the last one I had to fight against. It wasn't recorded, unfortunately, but I got messed up pretty good in that one. The motor still wasn't working from the last fight, so there wasn't much I could do. I managed to tie for first place with R.A.M, but I didn't want to rebuild my robots, so he ended up taking first place. And then in the Antweight bracket, this was actually probably the robot I was literally the most nervous about dealing with. Just from, it was my very first fight, and just from looking at the brackets, it looks like it outreached me pretty good. But on the very first hit, his ESC reset, and he wasn't able to get it running again.
And just a notice for the competitors and the audience members, we will be taking a break at 12 o'clock.
My second fight in the winner's bracket still is against Vile Ant, a horizontal spinner that is... It's competed at Horde for a long time. For a long time, it was winning the competition every single time it would come out there. But that was before COVID, and a lot of new designs, a lot of new competitors are here now, and the design's still good, still competitive, but it's showing its age. Ooh, I jumped the gun there. Yeah, it didn't make much difference given that I didn't actually make contact with him until afterwards, but that's something to keep in mind. A lot of events, they seem to do 1, 2, 3 fight. It's pretty confusing, actually. Because other events, they'll have it as 3, 2, 1, and then that's when you go. Anyway, regardless, I'm running a TPU wedge on the front of Homunculus here. And it's taking most of the damage. It can't spin up anymore. Yeah, it looks like he lost his belt, too. Okay, so this one is a video that I had to get from Dave. It's from his side of the arena. It's a little bit further away, so you can't really see that much. It's not a very long fight anyway, though. He's running a multi-brain spinner, but it's kind of delicate. When it gets hit too much, it... He was actually dead at this point, but he wanted me to try to flip him back over. He thought he was just high-centered. Yeah, it was dead on that first strike. This is actually the best I've seen that robot do, though it had won a couple matches before this one. Okay, so this one right here is Lars of Team Obvious Robotics. Second, I fought his vertical spinner as my first fight. This actually wasn't the one I was as worried about fighting, but it was pretty brutal. Still running the TPU wedge at the front to take hits, but that hit right there damaged my drive on the right side, so I'm struggling for the rest of the match. Still functioning every once in a while. He's getting some good side strikes on me. He doesn't have to be quite as precise because his blade covers a large area. There, I totally lose the drive on the right side. I gotta crab walk it now, which means I'm basically just revving the weapon up really high and then driving with one side. And now the really big, that was a good hit right there. I believe that one right there actually bent his weapon, putting it out of commission for the rest of the fight. Anyway, the crab walking thing is pretty bad because that motor's totally locked up, so it's drawing a ton of power when it's trying to turn. And these are 3-minute matches, which this robot, Nosferatu's, really only meant to run 2 minutes. And you'll see that comes into play near the end of this, because I'm drawing more power than normal, and the longer match, the battery starts to run down towards the end. At this point, I'm having a lot of trouble showing control or aggression because of my damage drive. I still managed to do some damage, rip off some armor. Every time he runs into my weapon, it looks good for me, but at this point I'm probably only going to be able to win damage if it comes to a judge's decision. I was kind of hoping I might pop him up and drop him into the pit at some point. Right here you can see the entire robot starting to slow down. The motor's not as powerful. Yep, one of my the wedge also got stuck on the floor. And I'm not even running the weapon motor anymore because it takes a lot of power as well. Really, at this point, I'm happy to just kind of move a little bit because I don't want to get counted out. I was pretty much positive this wasn't going to go in my favor, but still wanted to make it to the bell, give it a chance. So, lost by judge's decision. 1 damage, lost control and aggression. Alright, so in the loser's bracket now, against, well, this would normally be called Garchomp. He was trying to make a different robot for the event, so which was going to be a vertical spinner, but he didn't have time to finish it, so he put Garchomp in under the name of Ultra Necronomicon. And he was having a little bit of drive issues, actually. Later on, he tells me that it was because the power switch, like, the wire was coming loose from it a little bit, so he would stop working, like right there, he'd stop working. I tap him a little bit, and he starts working again. I mean, really, I probably could have just left him there, and he would have been counted out, but it's an extremely boring fight for the audience. And, well, for me, and for the competitors. So, I got stuck right there. My fork's stuck underneath the edge of the wall.
Yeah, your forks are under the wall.
And also, normally,
No, his forks are under the wall.
Garchomp, the Necessary Evil Kit, would be able to pull out from that. But, once again, the switch is disconnected. And without me there to tap them and get them working again, we're both just stuck.
Were my wheels moving still? Your wheels were moving, okay. But yeah, the wedges were stuffed.
Now, once again, I want to say a really big thank you to all the Horde staff. They put on an amazing event. I really appreciate it. I'll definitely be there next year.
Alright, let's count it back down. 3, 2, 1. Fire robots, fire!
So I was able to flip over right off the bat, at this point I was kind of thinking, okay, time to hit him a little bit. That didn't look particularly good, getting stuck there. Looks kind of like a pin. Making a few good hits. This is where the pit opens, and I've got to be a little bit more careful. I've seen plenty of robots during the day fall in there. I'm a little nervous there because if I spin my weapon forwards, it's going to pop me towards the pit. Very nervous being this close to the pit. This weapon is a little bit bigger, so I'm having... It spins too far when I try to rev it to flip. Yeah, they were telling me to leave it. I should have. I kind of thought I might just push him in the pit. But it started working again after a couple taps. You can hear Rachel of Team YO in the background telling me not to do that because I have it in the bag at this point. And right there. Overconfident driving. So I end up taking third place because I lost out to Ultra Necronomicon, who then went on to fight Impulse again, who I really wanted to fight again. Regardless, it was a great event, and congrats to Lars.